All right, back to work. Vacation is behind us. We got some money to make this week, don't we? And I'll tell you, the way the market's grinding down this chart right now, combine that with that big move higher we've seen the last few weeks, it smells like bull traps are probably where the easy money, the big money is made for tomorrow. In fact, I have two types of bull traps on my radar for Tuesday morning. I want to cover the entire game plan. I want to make sure you have a roadmap to make some money tomorrow as well. So charts are ready. Enough of the intro. Let's dive right in, find some bull traps, make some money on what should be a fantastic Tuesday morning. S&P SPY ready to go tonight. Nasdaq triple Qs are always ready, aren't they? I have four important clues on these charts that are telling me where I think the money is made tomorrow. The first of four clues is right here on the hourly time frame. I like to use the hourly chart as an overall directional filter. And right now, the bulls, they still have all the control on the higher time frame. So one big clue for tomorrow is our directional filter is certainly bullish overall. Second clue though is over on the calendar. We don't have any major news tomorrow. We really don't have any major news the entire week this week. Now remember, we were supposed to have the deadline for all the new tariff stuff done by Wednesday morning, but a few hours ago, Trump signed an executive order that pushed that back from Wednesday to August the 1st. So we definitely have some time to get these last minute trade deals put together. But we know one thing is for sure. There's no major news this week that we know about at least, but everyone's watching right now on trade deals, right? Trade deals, especially Japan, especially South Korea, especially EU as well. That may not be as easy as the deals we've seen come together so far, but that's definitely something we're watching here the rest of the week this week. The third and fourth clues are down on our faster time frames, our tick charts. The first clue was easy. We're bullish overall on the higher time frame, but that's the higher time frame. We don't trade off the higher time frame. We always trade off of tick charts because tick charts make entry timing a whole lot easier. In fact, all the time frames, by the way, in case you're watching for the first time tonight, that is a 7,000 tick chart, all the time frames, upper left-hand corner, and that moving average too. That is the only indicator we need to time perfect winning entries consistently. That is the 21 EMA. I see two really big clues right now on these tick charts. One big clue, I mentioned earlier, we're grinding down and grinding down pretty much the entire day today. That strong move, what do strong moves tell us? Strong moves lower are going to want to pull back and retest that low. Remember, because all of that momentum going lower would be very difficult to stop right now. We also have that gap down there, right? Let's not forget that gap from 2 Sundays ago, right? They filled the gap this morning, but they still have that gap open down there around that 62.20 area as well. So one really big clue right now is a strong move down. We know whenever it makes a strong move down like this, we know all that momentum will pull back, want to retest that low before we can go out and resume that overall bullish trend we saw on the hourly chart previously. The final clue, which really is one of my favorite clues overall, is a range up there. We began the day today inside a trading range. Now, why is it important? Well, because anytime we see a convincing break of a range, we know that breakout pullbacks are very, very reliable. We love breakout pullbacks in our trade room. So put all these clues together right now. We're definitely bullish overall. There's no doubt about that. But again, the strength of this move going lower combined with that breakout pullback zone, I love the idea of a short. In fact, I have two types of bull traps I'm looking for on a breakout pullback. And I always love the idea, because we're bullish overall, I love the idea of buying some bear traps down here. We call these retest trades. So let's break this down, because there are lots of different ways in which we can time these entries. For example, as we go higher here right now, A classic bull trap, just like I teach in our free video classes, would be we run up into that breakout pullback zone. Again, all of that momentum wants to retest that low. So let's trap in some buyers up here. Let buyers try once, go lower, let them try twice. And what I want on this is, and pay attention, very important here, I want a lower low and I want right above that high here. A strong red candle closing below that 21 EMA. And that is one of 2 bull trap entries I'm looking for tomorrow. This is a technical bull trap, just like I teach in the free video course. Now, where's the market want to go right now? It wants to go back and take out that low, right? So on the way back to that low, this is where I can look to add to my winner. Now, adding to our winner, the key to adding to your position is looking for what we call separation off the moving average. What that means is that as it pulls back to that moving average, it's not pulling back all the way, right? Separation away from the moving average. If I see separation of the moving average, now what I can do is lower low, get above that high, and we can add to our winners. So again, the goal here is bring it up, bull trap, add to our winner, and back down to retest that low. Now, I mentioned earlier, I have 2 types of bull traps I want up here. This is kind of the classic bull trap, but sometimes we don't get that. For example, sometimes we'll get that nice pop up, but now we just get whacked right back down again. Every once in a while, we'll get a V top up here instead of a bull trap. So if we run up and it gets whacked back down again and we don't get that technical bull trap, what I'll do is make a small adjustment like this. I'm gonna look for a trend line off those new lows down there. I'll bring that trend line up around that high. That gives me a channel right now. Most important thing is look left and find one of these prior swings that lines up with the high of that channel, and I want that first test off the top of that channel. So again, most of the time we'll go up, buyers once, buyers twice, lower low, above that high, and a bull trap. But again, if we don't get that bull trap, if it runs up and just gets whacked back down and begins grinding, going lower, all we do is find that channel by drawing off the low, pin up around the high, and most important thing is to get the first touch off the high of that channel. And again, I want to short just a little bit above one of those prior swings. As I teach in the free video classes, I want to see a nice strong red candle closing back below that 21 EMA. And again, the goal is to go back down and take out that low. Now, I mentioned earlier that I would like to buy off of that low. In fact, one of my favorite trades in this situation, right? This is a very bearish short-term trend, but an overall bullish long-term trend. So that is a recipe for we run up, we bull trap, back down again, and then what do you think? Anybody who sells up here, where's their profit target? Their profit target is where it's back down to retest that low. Anybody who sells up here, they become buyers down there, right? So what do you think? Is that a good place to sell short? No, probably not. One of our favorite trades we see in our trade room is called a retest trade. We go up, we then retest that low, and we look for what is basically a bear trap down here. Let those bears try once, let them try twice. Now, why twice? Because I want those bears to get stopped out if they fail, right? Think about this. If you're caught short, selling right into that low, what's going to happen? Your stops are going to get hit. If you get stopped out, what happens, right? You buy your way out of that position. So these retest trades, right? Bearish, we pop it up, bull trap, back down. Once folks start taking profit on their shorts, we trap those bears in once and twice. We squeeze those stops. Targets now will go back off at that high, and we're overall bullish, so we'll leave a runner back up to retest major highs. Now, I want to talk about if we go lower, because we may not get that pop up and back down again. The game plan will be a bit different if we go lower. Before I talk about that though, let's slow down for 2 seconds because I know most folks watching right now, you guys and gals, you guys know these patterns. You're making money with these already. But if you're tuning in and watching for the first time right now, this might be way over your head, a brand new language, a brand new strategy. Don't you worry though, I teach this entire roadmap, bull traps, retest trades, add-on trades. I cover so much more of this in my free video classes. What I'll do is I'll put a link up top here for you, upper right-hand corner. Hit that link that popped up right there and take that free trading course because the strategy I teach in that video course will teach you a simple trick we use in our members trade room that literally tells us exactly where the winning trades are going to be each day. It is so easy to learn. You'll laugh when you see how simple it is. More importantly though, I want to teach you my 4 favorite entry setups so you can time better entries, make a lot more consistent profits. Guys, bottom line, the markets are way too good right now not to be making consistent profits. So if you're still missing the best entries each day, if you've lost your confidence in your current trading strategy, do me a favor, pause the video, hit that link that popped up right there and watch that free trading course because you're going to love all the trade examples I include in that short video series. The best part is it's completely free for you. Also, too, guys, keep in mind, too, I'm going to put all the important links I'm talking about tonight. I'll put all those below this video, the description of the YouTube video. Definitely start first on that free video course because most folks, they start making money all on their own, all from that free video course. So start there first. Again, the link below, description of the video. And don't forget too, I post a ton of charts and videos and mindset stuff on Twitter or X, they call it these days. If you're on the X platform, give me a follow. Again, all the details you'll need to learn more, hopefully earn a lot more. I'll link those below the video tonight here, description of the YouTube video. All right, so now I want to make sure we pause for a second there so you guys know where to find more information here in case you're watching for the first time. I want to talk about going lower here in just a moment. But remember, as we go higher here, right? As we go higher here, we're above highs into the breakout pullback zone, up into these key areas up here, right? Get those bull traps up here and back down to retest that low. All right, let's grab Nasdaq right now and talk about if this thing ends up running lower here. And again, over on the Nasdaq, we'll start first here on the hourly time frame. Remember, don't get too far into the weeds on the hourly chart. The hourly chart, the only use for it is the overall direction. And before we dive into those tick charts and talk entries for tomorrow, if you're enjoying tonight's video, please help me grow this channel by hitting that like button and make sure you subscribe. I know we're all busy people these days, and I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching these videos. So as always, thank you guys so much for the likes, subscribes, all the ongoing support. Now let's dive in and talk about the Nasdaq. Over on the S&P, same basic clues right now. The only difference on the Nasdaq is the Nasdaq does not have that gap to fill anymore. On the Nasdaq right now, we have, look at it grinding down like that. Remember, anytime we see a strong grinding move like this, grinding moves are very difficult to stop. On top of that, there's that range above us just begging for a breakout pullback off the underbelly of that trading range. So a lot of this, well, all of this is very similar that we saw earlier on the S&P. As I go higher, I love the idea of selling a bull trap. I like the idea of adding more on that add-on trade. Both of those are very, very high percentage trades because of that grinding momentum going lower. And again, anytime we are bullish overall, but we're bearish in the short term, we love that retest trade, right? It'll bounce off that low because anybody who sells up here, they're buying their way out down here. This becomes a horrible spot for a short trade, right? For sellers, and a great spot for you guessed it, a bear trap off of that low. So this main sequence is the goal for tomorrow. Pop it up, bull trap, add on, take our profit at that low, and see if we get lucky and trap some rookies bouncing on off of that low. And again, targets are back up and retest that high here. But what if we go lower here? What if this thing keeps going lower overnight? I mean, think about this. We have made a very big move higher the last few weeks here. Almost 2 straight weeks of straight up it went for the most part on the S&P and Nasdaq. So would anybody be surprised if while Trump is trying to figure out some trade deals before the deadline, August the 1st here, would anybody surprised if we saw this thing shift to a bit bearish here the next few days here? I would not be surprised at all. Now, if we go lower, what's the game plan then? Well, one thing stays the same. If we go lower, again, we're very strong, right? So anytime we see a strong bear move in an overall bull market, it's a pop up, a retest, and buy of that retest. What else do you notice right now? There's a range right here. So if we wind up going lower right now, would you agree that a breakout pullback? Yeah, definitely. So now if we go lower here, now we start shifting our focus down a little bit here now. That's all we do, right? It's the same basic idea. If I go lower here now, again, I love the idea of a breakout pullback. So if we continue going lower here overnight or tomorrow morning at any point, if we see a strong run down, now the underbelly of that range is a breakout pullback. Now remember, breakout pullbacks, I'm looking for that pop up. This is where too you want to remember we can't be that aggressive selling that breakout pullback because again, we're still overall bullish right now on the higher time frame. So it'll still be that technical bull trap, right? Which again, it's buyers once, lower low, buyers twice. It's above that high, right? That strong red candle, closing back below that 21 EMA, and the run back down to retest the low. And again, once we retest that low, this is a horrible spot to be selling, and therefore a great spot for a bear trap. Now remember, bear traps, when I'm trying to buy a bear trap, I can be a lot more aggressive, right? So bears once, bears twice, I can buy into their stop losses. So it's very important that you understand the difference between these two entries. The first one is a technical bull trap. It's a bit more specific, again, bit more cautious, because again, we're not a bear market overall. We're just bearish here in the short term. The retest trade is a lot more aggressive. Right? Again, when I'm going against the overall directional bias, which we find on the hourly time frame, I have to be a bit more cautious. When I go with the directional bias, like on the retest trade, I can be a lot more aggressive. And again, if you're watching for the first time right now, I would definitely recommend take that free trading course because that will give you a more detailed breakdown of the difference between what we call a technical bear trap or more like a 2-try failure version of a bear trap. That terminology, of course, will make a lot more sense once you go through that free video course. So as we go lower, right, I still like the idea of selling that bull trap, buying that retest. Now, here's a couple variations of that. For example, as we go lower here, how could I buy down there? Is it possible to buy? Well, it's very difficult. First of all, it's very difficult to pick a bottom on these grinding moves going lower. So this trade will be a half size position, a quarter size position. It'll be what we call a crown reversal pattern. It's basically a technical bear trap that is right around that low. Now look closely at this. It's a higher high in price, move right below that low, and a strong green candle closing back above that moving average. You'll notice this is a little bit more cautious of a pattern that I would use for the retest trade. The retest trade, I can be a lot more aggressive. And the reason why is because on the initial move down, when markets are grinding down like this, again, it's very difficult to pick the bottom. And so on a trade like this, again, for me personally, this will be a half size position, maybe a quarter size position. It depends on how the price action looks tomorrow morning in our trade room. If you're new to this stuff, that might be a demo trade, a simulated trade there for you, a zero size position, because again, this will not be the most reliable trade of the group. I would rather go up, sell that bull trap. Again, same bull trap, and the much more aggressive buy would be the retest trade. The retest trade, I can be more aggressive because now I know where that low is. We've already found our bottom, and again, I have the benefit now if anyone selling here becomes a buyer down at that low. All right, makes sense out there? Okay, so very, very important to recognize there on that buy off that low, it needs to be a smaller size position. It needs to be a technical bear trap right there. Those are the variations I'm watching for here for tomorrow. But right now, again, up, bull trap, retest those lows, retest trade back up again, or do we keep rolling lower, looking for that breakout pullback? I can buy it, I can sell it, I can buy it, and now you know the entry tactics I'm looking for tomorrow morning in our trade room. Now, speaking of the trade room tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time, guys, the easiest way start making money in these markets is to come out and learn and trade along every morning at the opening bell. As always, I'll put all the important links you need to learn the roadmap, enjoy all the trade examples I include in that short video course. Then come join us in the trade room and we'll do it together. In the meantime, guys, be well out there, be nice to each other, get some rest. I'm sure most of us are exhausted from travels over the weekend. I will see you guys though tomorrow morning in the trade room. If not, same time, same place, back here tomorrow night for the next version of our nightly newsletter. In the meantime, guys, adios amigos. Bye for now.